Hello, friend. I know a lot of us have gone through a phase where we secretly hated ourselves. Maybe because of the way we look, maybe because of our personality, maybe because of our mistakes, or maybe because we just never felt enough. And honestly, I get it. Self-hatred has become so common these days that some people don't even realize they're doing it anymore. Some people even think that hating themselves somehow makes them stronger or helps them improve. But honestly, it doesn't. It only makes life harder. So, let's get into the video. First thing I want to talk about is why you hate yourself in the first place. Honestly, there isn't just one reason. Sometimes you compare yourself to other people. Sometimes you feel disappointed because you aren't the person you imagined yourself becoming. Sometimes people criticize you so much that you slowly start believing those words yourself. And sometimes you simply never learned how to appreciate yourself. If I tell you about my experience, I used to hate almost everything about myself. I hated the way I spoke, I hated the way I looked, I hated the way I acted, and honestly, there wasn't even anything seriously wrong with me. I was just a normal person. But still, I kept finding flaws in everything. The biggest reason behind it was that I thought loving yourself was just nonsense. I thought being hard on yourself would somehow make you better. So I kept criticizing myself every single day. But one day, I actually sat down and asked myself, why do I hate myself? And that's when I realized the real reason. I wasn't grateful for who I was. I lacked confidence. And deep down, I believed that constantly insulting myself would somehow make me improve. But it never did. That's why understanding your why is so important. Because once you know the real reason behind a problem, solving it becomes much easier. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is how to stop hating yourself. One thing I see everywhere on the internet is people saying, just tell yourself that you love yourself. And honestly, if that works for you, then that's great. But personally, I don't think simply repeating those words while secretly hating yourself deep down changes anything. Your mind knows whether you truly believe it or not. Instead of forcing yourself to suddenly love yourself, try building a better relationship with yourself. Treat yourself like someone you're responsible for helping, instead of someone you're constantly trying to destroy. Another realization that completely changed my mindset was this. There are things in life that you can change, and there are things that you simply can't. You can improve your communication, your confidence, your habits, your health, your dressing sense, your skills, and many other things. But there are also things you cannot completely change. You cannot completely become another person. You have to live in this body. You have to live with yourself every single day. So if you constantly hate yourself for things you cannot control, who are you actually hurting? Yourself. Instead of hating yourself, accept the things you can't change and work on the things you can. That's how real growth happens. Improving yourself is healthy. Hating yourself while trying to improve isn't. Another thing I really want to talk about is your thoughts. Personally, I talk to myself a lot. I genuinely like self-talk because it helps me understand myself better. But one thing I don't allow anymore is negative self-talk, because your thoughts matter. Imagine your best friend made one mistake. Would you tell them that they're useless, that they're ugly, that they're a failure? Probably not. Then why do you say those things to yourself? The person you talk to the most in your entire life is yourself. And if that voice becomes your biggest bully, eventually you'll start believing everything it says. So whenever you catch yourself thinking, I hate myself, don't force yourself to immediately think, I love myself, if you don't actually believe it. Instead, replace those thoughts with something honest. Tell yourself, I'm learning. Tell yourself, I made a mistake. Tell yourself, I'm trying to become better. Those thoughts are much more believable. And over time, they slowly replace self-hatred. You don't need fake positivity. You need honest kindness towards yourself. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is why you should stop hating yourself. A lot of people think that if they're harder on themselves, they'll become more successful. But honestly, self-hatred doesn't make you improve. Self-awareness does. There is a huge difference between the two. Self-awareness says, I made a mistake, so I'll learn from it. Self-hatred says, I made a mistake because I'm a terrible person. One helps you grow. The other destroys your confidence. When you constantly hate yourself, you stop believing in yourself. You become scared of making mistakes. You become scared of trying new things. Slowly, you become your own biggest enemy. And honestly, the world already has enough people who will criticize you. You don't need to become one of them. Work on yourself. Improve yourself. Become a better person every single day. But don't hate yourself while doing it. Because at the end of the day, you're the one who's going to spend your entire life with yourself. So, from this whole video, what I really want to tell you is this. You don't have to think you're perfect. You don't have to love every single part of yourself today. But please, stop becoming the person that hurts you the most. Accept the things you can't change. Improve the things you can. Be grateful for the person you already are, while still working towards becoming a better version of yourself. Because your worth was never decided by your mistakes, your looks, or your bad days. You're still growing, and that's completely okay. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.